What's up, guys? Welcome back. We have a quick video for you. This is a lawsuit. Cops arrest a 70-year-old man. You know how cops do it. They don't really care about the people. And if you question authority, if you give them the middle finger, they're going to get mad. They're going to retaliate against you. And they did that to this man, and this man wins a lawsuit. So let's get right into the video. We'll pause for some comments, and I'll give you my final thoughts at the end.
A 70-year-old man says an interaction he had with Kuna police officers last year was, quote, humiliating and violated his constitutional rights. So he filed a lawsuit against Ada County and the Ada County Sheriff's Office, who provides contract policing for the city of Kuna.
And this week, the county settled that lawsuit for $250,000 and a promise to deliver more training to deputies. Aspen Shumpert joins us in studio now to tell us more about really what happened that day, the man's decision to sue. Aspen, a very interesting situation here.
Yeah, Brenda and Joe, Mick Haikola sat down to speak with us, his lawyer sharing the security footage from that day. It was an incident that Haikola and his lawyer tell us should never have happened.
They can't treat everybody like a criminal, and they did me. And
Buddy, that's exactly how they're trained, to feel like everyone is a threat. We've seen cops slam 50, 60-year-old ladies on their face. Cops continue to treat people with utter disrespect. We got a call, hurry up and identify yourself, or you're going to jail for failure to ID. Like, cops don't even know the people's natural rights. They're trained in brute force and compliance. We can't expect anything better from them, right? I think it's time we start taking it to the next level and start demanding that cops, and I don't want to throw more money at their training. Cops should know the people's natural rights before even applying for the job. It's a big waste of money. And you mean to tell me that every cop, because we don't train them correctly or because we don't force them to know the Constitution that they swear an oath to, we don't force them to know? We've already proven that through our videos. You mean to tell me that every single cop out there on the street is a potential lawsuit? That is exactly what we are creating by not forcing cops to know the amendments. Because if they did, they wouldn't have arrested this man and many other people.
I'm sure they've done other people too, and I want that to stop.
Mick Haikola has called Kuna home for the past 35 years. He's always considered himself a law-abiding citizen. On an afternoon in January of 2023, he took outdated prescriptions to his local police department to properly dispose. Before going into the station, he stops and looks at police cars parked next to him, claiming they caught his eye and he was curious.
I noticed the second one was running. The SUV next to him was running, the police car. So I walked up to the window thinking maybe I can have a conversation with a cop and see what all these electronics, because they've got a stack of electronics on their dash.
You can see him with a paper bag with prescriptions in hand. Moments later, an unmarked car pulls into the lot, an interaction Haikola says scared him.
A guy jumped out, plainclothes person jumped out, and he started yelling at me.
Asking what Haikola was doing looking in the cars.
I gave him an FU and turned around and walked off because I had.
Hell yeah, I gave him an FU. This guy's on public property. Cops use this thing called the plain view doctrine to look inside your vehicle, and if they see anything, then they can use probable cause to cite you or whatever. But the people also have the same ability to do this as well. There's nothing illegal about going up to a car window and looking inside a cop car window. So you mean to tell me that this guy comes up, sees a man doing something that he doesn't like, even though it's not illegal, he doesn't like it. So he's going to jump out of his vehicle, he's going to approach this man aggressively, and the man ain't taking no shit. The man says, F you, and he doesn't like it. And let's see what happens next.
No idea who he was. He didn't identify himself as a policeman or anything. Thought he was just a psycho citizen or something, out of control.
Haikola goes into the
Well, he
station.
is out
A
of
group
control.
of officers walk past him and go outside. They're seen examining the police cars. Then Haikola leaves the building. Officers follow him out, and that's when Haikola learned the man was a plainclothed officer.
Put my hand in my pocket. It was middle of January, cold. I pulled him out for a second, put him back in, and I said no, because I knew they didn't have any authority over me. I hadn't done anything wrong. They they immediately grabbed me, pinned my arms behind my back, and threw me into a rail. If they hadn't had a hold of my arms when they threw me against the rail, I would have went overhead first.
ℍ𝕀ℎ says he was not read his Miranda rights and officers weren't answering his questions. Additionally, he'd had back surgery a few months prior, and the force the
straight gang. And cops don't like to be called a gang, but look at the way they're treating the 70-year-old man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 7. I'm sorry, I could see the other cop's hand by the door. 7 cops right there for a 70-year-old man. That's not a gang, folks. LA Sheriff's Department. Is that a gang? Would you guys consider these, would you guys make these part of the Banditos or whatever other gang you guys got in the LA Sheriff's Department? Or these guys qualify to be a part of your gang? Looks like it to me.
Deputies used when they threw him against the railing during his arrest caused him to soil himself. Eventually, officers told ℍ𝕀ℎ he was under arrest for obstruction. They transported him to Ada County Jail, where ℍ𝕀ℎ says things got even worse.
I said, I've messed myself. I need to get into a bathroom, clean myself up. Another 4 hours or 4.5 hours I had to sit in it. Wow. I didn't get a phone call for about 4.5 hours.
He says he's lost trust in police and that it's taken a toll on him and his family.
It was all emotional. It was the depression, the embarrassment, the humiliation,
the anger,
the people that called me and asking me about it, my friends and stuff that had seen it, and that was the worst part. That was the worst part of it.
Homie, please tell me you're gonna start a channel. Please tell me you're gonna record police and start a channel. Go back to that sheriff department, record them, upload the video. Send it to me at recordpolicenow@gmail.com. I will help blow your channel up. This is what I do. Bad cops create great activists, and I highlight them.
KTVB reached out to Ada County about the incident. In a statement, Sheriff Matt Clifford says, "This wasn't our best day." He says they interact with hundreds of different people daily and that most of these interactions go well. Occasionally we fumble and miss the mark. But he added, for anyone to claim we are trampling on someone's constitutional rights simply isn't true.
Wow, Matt Clifford. This is why we do what we do. Because you guys have been doing this type of shit for way too long. Getting away with it. I bet you guys have like templates of what to say to get away with things. You guys use the verbiage, the wording that makes you guys look good. For anyone to claim we are trampling on someone's constitutional rights simply isn't true. Well, Matt Clifford, it is true. The man did absolutely nothing illegal. It's not illegal to put your hands in your pockets. It's not illegal to look in the vehicle in public, a police cruiser. So how was this man's constitutional rights not violated? How? I just explained to you how they were. Now please explain to me how they weren't. The reality is we have hundreds of contacts every day with people of all different backgrounds, religions, ethnicities, and socioeconomic standings, which has nothing to do with what happened. While the vast majority of those interactions go well, occasionally we fumble and miss the mark. You mean all the time? You mean all the time, Matt Clifford. And you know why, Matt Clifford, this is happening, Matt Clifford? Matt Clifford, it's because not one cop in your department knows the First Amendment or the people's natural rights. You and every other cop in that department lied. You lied. You don't know it. It's the bottom line truth. You don't know it. You could try to learn it so that when people go into your department and start questioning you about it, they see the deputies out in the streets and they question them about it. They don't look like damn fools when they can't answer it. So why don't you and the rest of that department learn it? Because it is embarrassing what you guys are doing and it goes against the freedoms of this country. Cops they're liars. They said they swore an oath to the Constitution. They said they would protect it, but they don't. They only protect the blue line. And that invalidates police, in my opinion. That invalidates everything you guys stand for. Prove me wrong and learn it. Prove me wrong and teach your department the First Amendment of the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. Educate your department and prove me wrong.
Doesn't agree with.
My rights have been violated. There's nothing more important as citizens to have these civil rights that we have. And we need to stand up for our rights. I could become an activist now.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
The obstruction charges against ℍ𝕀ℎ were dropped last August. A year after the incident is when ℍ𝕀ℎ filed the lawsuit.
I want to hear that again.
They made me been violated. There's nothing more important as citizens to have these civil rights that we have. And we need to stand up for our rights. I could become an activist now. They made me an activist.
Hell yeah!
The obstruction charges against ℍ𝕀ℎ were dropped last August. A year after the incident is when ℍ𝕀ℎ filed the lawsuit, which just came to rest this week. Along with the settlement, Ada County also agreed to put their officers through additional scenario-based training. Joe, Brenda.
Scenario-based
Well, it's quite
training.
an interesting story, and it was interesting to hear it from Mr. ℍ𝕀ℎ.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to find out if there are any other lawsuits, possibly surrounding this, or if this is said and done. Do you know at this point, Aspen?
I don't, but that would be a good thing for us to look into and see if anyone else out there has experienced something like this.
Very interesting. Okay.
It happens all the
We do
time,
have to take
people.
a real quick break here on the news at 4. What's trending just ahead?
Next.
I gotta say, I'm glad you asked that question though. It's sad to say you haven't seen all the videos of cops violating people's rights because they don't know the people's natural rights. It's sad that you haven't seen the patterns yet, amigo. But it's good that you were able to throw that question out there because now you are beginning your pattern of seeing this behavior. Yeah. Yeah. There's one of my favorite mainstream news media guys. He also has a YouTube channel. His name is Jody Barr. He's my favorite by far from everybody else out there. He loves to question cops. He goes out of his way to make badass videos regarding police accountability. And check this out, folks. Jody Barr knows my channel. I actually shouted out Jody Barr a long time ago. But he watches our videos. And even Jody Barr, in my opinion, I seen a video a long time ago. I'll try to find it, and I'll even try to share that video. He did a First Amendment audit. He was standing out there, and the cops got called on him, and he educated I think it was at a school district, and they called the cops on him. They didn't want him out there. There was no kids or nothing like that. He was just out there recording, doing a story. Same thing with the mainstream media. The government does not like to be held accountable. And finally, mainstream media is really beginning to see that. And I hope it continues. I hope that we continue to see these patterns of behavior from these cops so that we, the people, can actually wake up and stop backing the blue blindly. We need to really hold them accountable. Lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. Keep in mind, folks, that this lawsuit, right, $225,000 or $250,000 awarded to this man because the cops violated his rights, could have been avoided because that stupid cop, the plainclothes cop, had so much of an ego. He had to jump out and try to bully the guy. And it cost us, the taxpayers. And that's why cops don't care. That's why they continue to behave like this, because it doesn't come out of their pockets. Help me understand this because it doesn't make any sense. Anyways, with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.